It's time for the Sports Report with your host, Mike Prince. For scores, updates, and highlights, Waller County area, the Sports Report is your one-stop spot. And now let us join in today's program. Well, good morning. It is January 28th, 2014, and it is cold in Prairie View, Texas. Now, me being originally from St. Louis, Missouri, I've been accustomed to some cold weather. So I know the rest of the people throughout the country are probably laughing that we are snowed in, and the weather is not as bad as I've seen in my past, but I'm going to take advantage of it, which is why we're here today live with the Sports Report. Normally we do this a little pre-recorded because due to my schedule, we have a lot to do to try to get filled up within a short amount of time. But nonetheless, we bring you something in the sporting world every day about Waller County and throughout high school and college coverage for the Hempstead Bobcats, the Waller Bulldogs, the Royal Falcons, and of course, the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. It is about 32 degrees. Nice, balmy, a little freezing up, and I'm snug as a bug, and we're ready to give you today's show. Today's show will be covering and featuring the Prairie View A&M University Lady Panthers and the Men Panther. They took on Mississippi Valley Delta Devils on last night. The women came out victorious. The men came up short, and we have some interviews in store for you on that. But what we're going to do right now is take us a break, and we'll be back with our first segment. You're listening to the Sports Report live right here on Tuesday, January 28th, 2004. Keep it locked where you got it, and we'll be right back. The Open Mic Broadcast Network is proud to be the official voice of Waller County Athletics. We'd like to thank the following sponsors for today's broadcast. In the Prairie View area, Brubaker's Barbecue, Uptown Barber and Beauty Shop, Jolivet Automotive, Papa John's Pizza, Subway Sandwich Shop, Loretta's Place Beauty Shop, Temple of Refuge, Church of God in Christ, and in the Waller and Field Store area, Waller Bulldog Club and San Bernard Electric Cooperative. If you or your group would like to be a sponsor of Waller County Athletics, give us a call at 832-213-8824. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Be sure to visit our website at www.ktorradio.com. Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
More than 2 million Americans have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the Department of Veterans Affairs reports that approximately 11 to 20% of those warriors may have experienced symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. As we recognize PTSD Awareness Month, Real Warriors campaign volunteer Meg Mitchum, a former Army combat medic who served in Iraq, encourages fellow warriors to reach out when they need help.
The hardest step was admitting that I needed help coping with PTSD. Once I did, my command and unit fully supported me, and I was able to get the care I needed. Getting support helped me succeed in the military and now in my civilian career.
If you or a loved one is coping with an invisible wound, resources are available and they work. For more information, visit the Real Warriors campaign at realwarriors.net or call 866-966-1020.
You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the official voice of Waller County Athletics, serving the Hempstead Bobcats, the Waller Bulldogs, the Royal Falcons, and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, serving the community through faith and athletics. Let us now return to our live broadcast. All right, and welcome back. We're ready to give you some basketball updates. Man, it feels pretty good to be doing this live. It's been a while since I've done it live. We always do pre-recorded, but I want to give a shout-out to Mr. Brian Snow. Brian Snow is listening by way of Facebook and Spreaker. Want to give a shout-out to him, and as a matter of fact, he has a radio show that you guys go out and check out. It's all about sharing and spreading the love here in Radio Land. Well, if you didn't hear last night, the Prairie View A&M University Panthers men and women got on the hardwood floor, and the women took care of business They were supposed to lose, and the men who were supposed to win ended up losing. So you go figure that one out. It was a very well-played game, a heated, contested game from the beginning, and it was all about put up or shut up. The Panthers fell short in the men's side by the score of 81-72. Leading scorer for the Panthers was Mr. John Briscoe. Briscoe had a total of 20 points, put in 26 minutes of play time, had 6 rebounds, 5 on the defensive side. He was 4 of 7 from three-point range and 8 of 14 from the from the field goal. So he was the leading scorer. Then you were followed by the leading scorer of the team, Mr. Montrell Scott, with 19 points. He played a total of 33 minutes, total of 8 rebounds, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe, 2 of 8 from three-point range, and 7 of 16 from the field. Leading scorer for the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils was Mr. D'Angelo Pryor. Pryor had a total of 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of 4 from three-point range, and 8 of 11 from the field. A very strong performance by Mr. D'Angelo Pryor. So what happens now? The Mississippi Valley Delta Devils improved their SWAC record, the Southwestern Athletic Conference record, to a 2-5 overall record. Meanwhile, the Panthers were trying to win 4 in a row. They dropped to 4-3. Now they'll get on the road to take on Alabama, A&M, and Alabama State on this next road trip. Now, as you all normally know, that I was able to get interviews and things of that nature done with the coaches, but for whatever unknown factor or reason, I know what it was just a rough night for Coach Grimm. He was not in a conversational mood, if you will, so we were not able to get a post-game interview for him, but nonetheless, it's all good. We will wish them well, and we'll continue to do what we do. But one thing that has to take to heart right now, we'll give you some total numbers on what was going on. The Panthers were 9 of 24 from three-point range. That is a lot of three-point attempts. And when you only get 15 free throw attempts, you got to go to the holes, brothers. You got to go to the hole. This game is won at the free throw line. And if you do have limited times that you get to the free throw line, you got to take your time and make sure that they count. So that was our little interlude for the men. They were not able to give us much feedback, but you know, the show must go on, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to take us a break, and we're going to hear from the Lady Panthers and Coach Don Brown as they were victorious over the Mississippi Valley Delta Devilettes. So we're going to take us a break, and we'll be right back with more of the Sports Report live right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the official voice of Waller County Athletics. Keep it locked where you got it, and we'll be right back.
I'm Elena. I have a master's degree in giving hope to children in Ethiopia.
I'm John. My farm experience helped villagers in the Philippines feed themselves.
I'm Nanaya. I have a degree in making an impact for generations to come.
If you have a degree in agriculture, the environment, or teaching English, you actually have a degree in doing more than you ever thought possible. Peace Corps volunteers can truly make a difference in the lives of people all over the world. With your skills and education, you could help create an irrigation system for a small village in Paraguay, or share new teaching methods to educators in Moldova. The experiences you'll gain in the Peace Corps will stay with you forever. This is your chance to make a real difference, a difference only you can make. Explore how the Peace Corps can fit into your future. Visit peacecorps.gov.
My resume
now includes changing lives.
All right, welcome back to segment number 2 right here on the Sports Report, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I want to remind you that you can keep up with the Snowman in the morning on the Arena Sports Network. His show runs from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and his website is thearenasportsnetwork.com. That's thearenasportsnetwork.com. My name is Mike Prince, and you're listening to the Sports Report on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, reminding you that you can keep up with us on Spreaker, You go to Open Mic Broadcast Network and find us on Spreaker. And if Spreaker's not good enough for you, you can follow us on Twitter. That is for OMBN_radio. That's OMBN_radio. And if that's not good enough for you, guess what else you can do? You can follow us on our website at KTORradio.com. That's KTORradio.com. Now let us get all that out the way and let us go right into the belly of the beast, if you will, and talk about these Lady Panthers. The Lady Panthers were able to take care of business on last night. They got the victory over the Lady Devilettes. And when I say they took care of business, ladies and gentlemen, they took care of business. The Lady Panthers were able to be victorious by winning 77-59. Now, here's the thing. The Lady Devilettes came in with a 4-2 overall record. And with that 4-2 overall record, they were able to really jump out and surprise some people in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The Panthers came in with that 3-3 record, and the tides were turned, and the Panthers were able to take care of some business. The leading scorer for the Lady Panthers was Loran Washington. She had a total of 24 points. She also had Gabrielle Scott with 23 points, and another strong performance by the post girl. I can't say postman because that would be politically wrong, right? So the post girl, Miss Shamaya Brooks. Shamaya Brooks had a total of 13 points. She had 4 block shots and 2 steals. She fouled out, but she had a real strong performance. Now, we were able to catch up with all these young ladies and get their feedback on their performance on tonight, or last night, I should say. We're going to first hear from Miss Loran Washington. Loran Washington had a total, as we stated, of 24 points. She played 35 minutes, and she was 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 of 2 from three-point range, and 9 of 13 from the field. And ladies and gentlemen, that was coming off the bench. So let's go and hear what Miss Loran Washington had to say, and we'll be right back.
All right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I have with me Miss Loran Washington. You had a strong performance tonight, 24 points, 35 minutes of play. This was kind of a breakout game. I heard you talk before that you felt like you're one of the best shooters in the SWAC anyway, and you kind of proved that tonight, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, don't get shy on me right now, Miss Loran Washington. Now, I want to hear the confidence that you got. How you assess your play on tonight and the performance against Mississippi Valley?
Well, at jump, I just had an attack mentality from start. And when I seen Jeanette struggling in her game tonight, I just knew I had the team on my back and I had to carry everybody.
So with that being said, you said, come on, guys, and ride on my back right now.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Now, with everything going on that you have, you guys have got yourselves in a good position right now. You're 4-3 in SWAC. Things are building up. The guys are getting a little pregame animated right now. So it's going to add to these men getting hyped up for this game on tonight.
Yes, sir. I think they're going to come out victorious, too. And about the SWAC, I feel like we should really be undefeated because we are the best team in the SWAC without Latia Williams, Kiara, and Jaquandria. But we just have to prove it to everybody.
All right. Well, you proved it tonight with a strong performance. 24 points, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 of 2 from three-point range, and 9 of 3 from the field goal. A strong performance for the ever so confident Miss Loran Washington. Thank you so much, ma'am. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Anybody you want to give a shout out before we end this segment?
Oh, my mommy, my grandma, Lauren. Not too many people. Okay, I'm done.
All right, thanks a lot. Miss Loran Washington for the Lady Panthers at Prairie View A&M University.
All right, that was Miss Loran Washington. Don't you just love that confidence that you have? I remember having that confidence in my youth. Well, I still have that confidence right now, but it's just good to know when an athlete has had a good performance and they know that they did a good performance and they say, hey, we're the best team out there, and they went out and proved it. So the Lady Panthers, led by Miss Washington, with 24 points, but she wasn't the only one that was adding to the flavor, if you will, for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers ladies' victory. Also, Miss Gabby Scott, or Gabrielle Scott, they affectionately call her Gabby Scott. Gabby Scott was able to drop in the paint 23 points. She was 8 from 16 from the field, 4 of 7 from three-point range, and 3 of 3 from the charity stripe. We're able to catch up with her as well, and she dropped in her little nuggets on what she thought and how the team was performing, and we're going to hear from her right now as you're listening to feedback from the Lady Panthers and their victory over the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils.
All right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and I have Miss Gabrielle Scott. I know they call her Gabby. Great game on tonight. Gabby, how you feel about your performance on tonight?
I feel pretty good about it. I'm glad, basically we saw that JJ was down, and we had to step up as the rest of the team because the way her offense wasn't really going. Okay. But she did get us involved. So.
She did do a lot of things that she didn't score like you're accustomed to her scoring, but she was able to pass the ball around. She had 7 assists on tonight.
You can see that on the stats, too.
Right.
You can see where she got us involved.
She got everybody involved, and I gave her a hard time. You heard me. She had been playing 40 minutes for the last 4 games, and I said, hey, you didn't kind of weaked out on me. You got 36 minutes on you. But look, this game, let's be honest, it was a game that you were expected to win. You went out there and you took care of business. Now you're getting yourself set for that Alabama trip. What's going on through your mind right now for that trip?
Basically, we got to keep it consistent. We got to build on what we just did. We just set the mark up high. I know we came out first half, we had a big lead. But that second half, we came back out and they kind of cut it down. But basically, we just got to come out and keep swinging.
Come out, keep swinging. Now, for me, your sleeping giant literally has been Miss Shamaya Brooks.
Sir.
She has been stepping up of late. How do you assess her performance as a post position player and as your teammate?
Basically, as a post position, nobody in conference can stop her. So she's gonna be dominant throughout the throughout the conference. And as a player, as a teammate, I'm really glad to have her on my team. That's all I'm saying, because I wouldn't want my big going up against her.
Well, look, thank you so much, Ms. Scott, on a strong performance. 8 of 16 from the field, 4 of 7 from three-point range, and 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. So you had a pretty good night on tonight. You even got yourself a block shot on tonight. You want to talk about your defensive paralysis?
I had to step up. You got to start with defense and then get your offense going, like Coach said.
Very good. Now, is there anybody you want to give a shout-out to before we close this out?
My mom and my dad. Oh, and my little sister.
And your little sister. All right. Ms. Gabby Scott with the Lady Panthers. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report. We'll see you on the other side.
All right, Miss Gabby Scott. She got a little frozen up at the end there, but she rebounded quite well. So, like I said, another strong performance on her on last night. 23 points, dropping it down in the paint. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take us a quick break, and we'll come back with Shamaya Brooks and Coach Dawn Brown for the Lady Panthers. This is Mike Prince. Just keep it where you got it, man. We're having a good time. It's cold outside, but it's warm on the inside, and we're just going to have us a good time here on the Sports Report. Keep it locked where you got it. We'll be back in about 30 ticks on the clock. I promise. It's basketball season, and you know what that means. Fast breaks, slam dunks, block shots, and game-clinching free throws all captured right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of Waller County Athletics. Serving the Waller Bulldogs, the Hempstead Bobcats, the Royal Falcons, and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. You can catch it all at KTORradio.com or join our listen line at 213-401-0037. I told you 30 seconds and we'll be right back. We're not going to waste your time because we value your feedback and want to let you know that we appreciate you. We are proud to be the voice of Waller County Athletics, serving the Waller Bulldogs, the Hempstead Bobcats, the Royal Falcons, and of course my beloved Prairie View A&M University Panthers. You can visit our website at KTORradio.com, or you can keep up with us on Twitter at OMBN_Twitter. And guess what? You can even like our Facebook page. It is Open Mic Broadcast Network, and you'll be able to get in with all that it is going to be happening throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference and the rest of the world. Because, you know, this thing is worldwide, baby. We can't even say nationwide anymore. It's worldwide. Now, check this out. I got somebody that's giving me some trivia. The Snowman is giving me a little trivia, and he says he wanted to named who were the 2 starting SWAC receivers. Then he had to backtrack on it, and then he said who were the 2 starting HBCU wide receivers to go to the Super Bowl and play on the same team, and I might add in victory. I tell you what, one of them happens to be my frat brother, Mr. Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley State. Mr. Jerry Rice and John Taylor of Delaware State is your trivia answer, ladies and gentlemen. They were 2 starting receivers from a historically black university, and they were able to bring home the gold, if you will. Thanks a lot, Snowman, for helping out on the show. Remember, you can check out the Snowman as he is airing daily, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. at the Arena Sports Network. With that being said, let us get right back into the flow of things. Now, as we talked about, this young lady to me is a rising star, ladies and gentlemen. She is a gentle giant, Miss Shamaya Brooks, into her sophomore year, and she has really taken the role and the responsibility of stepping into her own. She has admitted that she came in a bit timid, but she is now able to accept that role of being a dominant force. This young lady is from West Point, Georgia. She is 6'4" tall, and this is Miss Shamaya Brooks. Now, she had a good, strong performance. She fouled out, but I don't look at the fact of fouling out. I look at the fact that in 19 minutes of play, she had 4 block shots, 2 steals, 13 points, and 12 rebounds. In case you hadn't heard, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a double-double. We're going to hear from Miss Shamaya Brooks and her assessment of her play on last night's performance.
All right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I have with me Miss Shamaya Brooks. Another strong performance, fouled out, but you still made that presence felt tonight in tonight's performance. How you rate overall besides being fouled out?
It's kind of hard to rate it because my key point coming in the game was not fouling out. But I feel like I played strong, sound defense, and I got little chipping fouls along the way that kind of cost me in the end. But overall, I think my defense was pretty good.
Overall, it was with 4 block shots. You had 13 points. Most of those points were in the paint. 5 for 7 from the free throw line, and that's where you got to make it come. When you're playing down low, down dirty, as they call it, you're going to get hacked up, and you can't be afraid of making that body contact. And I'm telling you, Miss Brooks, I'm seeing this gentle giant turn into a beast, or diva, if I should say, out there on the court. Can you feel yourself growing in that position?
Yes, sir, I can. I get that mentality from my coach because that's how her college coach said she was in college. So, I mean, it starts at the head, and I'm getting it from her, learning from her.
Very good. Look, a good job on tonight. You guys are getting it set up right where you want it. This is Miss Shamaya Brooks. Thank you so much for coming out. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report, and we'll be right back on the other side.
Thank
you. Like I said, the gentle giant is coming into her own. Miss Shamaya Brooks, thank you so much for your time and effort with the Sports Report. Well, I tell you what, there's another young lady who has definitely been leading the way, and she's been a leader on and off the court. Now, she didn't have what people look. If you look at the box scores, you say, man, she didn't do too much. Only had 8 points, but she played 36 minutes, had 7 assists, and she was 3 or 4 from the free throw line. That is Miss Jeanette Jackson. She's normally averaging about 23 points a game, but she was being the distributor, if you will, on last night's performance. We were able to catch up with Jeanette Jackson, and she gave her assessment and with her cool self. She is definitely one of the coolest players walking around in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's Miss Jeanette Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I have with me Miss Jeanette Jackson. On paper, Jeanette, it looks like you had a rough night, but you really had another strong performance tonight. You had a total of 8 points, but you had 7 assists, and you were getting your teammates involved on tonight. How do you rate the team's overall performance on tonight?
Overall scale 1 to 10, I give them about an 8.5. I'm sure we can do way better, but this was a good peak for us. We needed to see this.
Well, 8.5. You one of them hard taskmasters then, huh?
I am.
Okay, well, look, you had some stepping up tonight, Miss Loran Washington. You did an outstanding job leading all scores, 24 points. Mm-hmm. You had 23 points by Gabby Scott. These guys kind of picked up where you left off, and that's the sign of a solid and deep team.
Right. Any given night, any one of us could score. We are really deep with guards and post players. Shemaya came out and gave us a double-double. So, I mean, any given night, any one of us can answer.
That's right. So with that being said, you guys getting ready now to go to Alabama. You know what you're capable of doing. Now it's just a matter of staying consistent and just going out and taking care of business, doing what you got to do. What do you see going to be some of the keys for you guys to come back with the sweep?
I think we just got to keep in mind that we are the championship team still and that everybody is after us. So we have something to hold and that we need to play and defend that every game.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you're about to starve to death over here. Your knees are shaking and everything. Go and get your post-game meal. Miss Jeanette Jackson, shooting guard for the Lady Panthers. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report saying God bless, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank
you. Miss Jeanette Jackson and the Panthers in the victory circle. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to hear from Coach Don Brown, but what we must do first is take care of some people who help take care of us. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with our final segment coming from Coach Don Brown. This is Mike Prince. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the live edition of the Sports Report. Keep it locked where you got it, and we'll be right back. The Open Mic Broadcast Network is proud to be the official voice of Waller County Athletics. We'd like to thank the following sponsors for today's broadcast. In the Prairie View area, Brubaker's Barbecue, Uptown Barber and Beauty Shop, Jolivet Automotive, Papa John's Pizza, Subway Sandwich Shop, Loretta's Place Beauty Shop, Temple of Refuge, Church of God in Christ, and in the Waller and Field store area, Waller Bulldog Club and San Bernard Electric Cooperative. If you or your group would like to be a sponsor of Waller County Athletics, give us a call at 832-213-8824. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Be sure to visit our website at www.ktorradio.com. All right, as I say, time flies when you are having fun. We're in our final stretch right now. I want to remind you that if you or your group would like to be a part of the Open Mic Broadcast Network family and be a sponsor, underwriter, just make a donation, be sure to go visit our website at ktorradio.com. Go to the sports section. You'll see a little donation PayPal button, and you'll be at liberty to do whatever has been placed upon your heart. And we would greatly appreciate your time and effort. And I made a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I said our last segment. Please forgive me. That's what happens when you go live sometime. You get a little bit ahead of yourself. But we do have our final segment with the women's basketball. We have another good segment coming up with a good friend of mine, Mr. Lee Hall, who happens to be the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils. So without further ado, we're going to hear from the interim coach, and I kind of teased with a little bit last night and called her head coach, Miss Dawn Brown, and her assessment of last night's performance. You're listening to the Sports Report. I'm Mike Prince. Here's Coach Brown.
All right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report. I got victorious coach, Miss Dawn Brown, and I'm going to say head coach Dawn Brown. How that sound?
It sounds good. Thank you.
All right, hey, you girls are doing what they need to do against the opponents they need to do it against, and tonight was another strong performance. Even though she wasn't the leading scorer, your top performer, Jeanette Jackson, she was controlling the flow and the tempo of the game tonight.
Right. Well, basically this morning for shoot-around, I told the girls, I said, we are the defending SWAC champions, and let's not forget that. Until somebody dethrones us, we ran this conference for the last 3 years, and we're not going to forget that. So that's one thing that I wanted to make sure that I let the girls know in shoot-around this morning. The mentality that I have, the vision that I have for this program, for this team, is something so remarkable. And I told the girls, we got to feed off of the success in the energy that we've had in the past. This team is one of the best teams in the conference. We've dropped a couple games, but we dropped them close. The only team that we kind of let get away from us was Southern. But like I told the girls, we're peaking at the right moment. Everybody has to come back around and see us again.
Right. And it seems like the way you girls are stepping up, nobody really want to see them right now, and that's a good thing. I know I'm sounding a little overconfident right now, but if you don't believe in yourself, then who else is going to believe in you, right?
Right, absolutely. With players like Shamaya Brooks and Gabrielle stepping up, and Larissa Scott's absence, as well as Jeanette Jackson not being so successful tonight, as far as offensively is concerned, you got to be proud of kids like that. Gabrielle stepped it up, hit 2 big threes for us back-to-back. The surge that we got from Taylor Overshawn coming off the bench. Those are intangible things that you actually don't see on paper all the time. But I'm proud of them. We got to go ahead and face 2 Alabama schools that's very, very, very hungry. But one thing about it, we continue to play Lady Panther basketball, and that's what you guys have seen in the 4 victories that we have. Once we continue to play Lady Panther basketball, we'll be where we need to be going into the tournament.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned Miss Shamaya Brooks. Although she fouled out, another strong performance, 13 points. But what I look at for your post girl, Coach, is their presence on the defensive side. Another big block shot, 4 block shots. She has a steal, and now she seems like she's building more confidence and not playing afraid right now.
Well, Shamaya, to be honest, not taking any credit away from Shamaya, but she reminded me of myself when I played basketball at Jackson State. And I told her, I said, anytime you got to play with your size and your height and your skill set, you got to be a dominant person on the court. And I will not allow her to be on the court if she is not going to dominate. So she come in and she start being timid and soft, then I'm going to have to pull her out. I told you got to be dominant when you step on the floor. And that's what she did tonight.
Well, I believe she's getting the message, Coach. Once again, congratulations on another strong performance. You guys take your show on the road right now. And what you just said 2 hungry teams. And I know, the normal question is, what is it going to take to be successful? But like you stated earlier, you guys really control your own destiny. You control your own flight. And all these girls have to do is continue to walk out there on their court knowing that, A, they belong here, and they are the defending champions.
Well, basically, we're going to kick it up another level defensively. Our defense sparks our offense. And that's the one thing that we take pride in. So defensively, we got some other things that we need to work on, which we'll work on this week. We'll make the adjustments and be ready for Alabama on this weekend.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach Don Brown. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we'll see you on the other side.
Man, you just love it when things fall together. We want to thank Coach Don Brown and her words of insight, if you will, for the Lady Panthers. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to try to make a little change if we can. So what that means is we're going to take a break, let people know about a few things, then we'll come back and we'll hear from Lee Hall, the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils. My name is Mike Prince, and you are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report, January 28th, 2014. Keep it locked where you got it, and we'll be right back.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind, serving the community through faith and athletics.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network is proud to be the official voice of Waller County Athletics. We'd like to thank the following sponsors for today's broadcast. In the Prairie View area, Brubaker's Barbecue, Uptown Barber and Beauty Shop, Jolivet Automotive, Papa John's Pizza, Subway Sandwich Shop, Loretta's Place Beauty Shop, Temple of Refuge, Church of God in Christ, and in the Waller and Field store area, Waller Bulldog Club and San Bernard Electric Cooperative.
If you or your group would like to be a sponsor of Waller County Athletics, give us a call at 832-213-8824. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Be sure to visit our website at www.ktorradio.com.
More than 2 million Americans have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the Department of Veterans Affairs reports that approximately 11 to 20% of those warriors may have experienced symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. As we recognize PTSD Awareness Month, Real Warriors campaign volunteer Meg Mitchum, a former Army combat medic who served in Iraq, encourages fellow warriors to reach out when they need help.
The hardest step was admitting that I needed help coping with PTSD. Once I did, my command and unit fully supported me, and I was able to get the care I needed. Getting support helped me succeed in the military and now in my civilian career.
If you or a loved one is coping with an invisible wound, resources are available and they work. For more information, visit the Real Warriors campaign at realwarriors.net or call 866-966-1020.
You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the official voice of Waller County Athletics, serving the Hempstead Bobcats, the Waller Bulldogs, the Royal Falcons, and the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, serving the community through faith and athletics. Let us now return to our live broadcast.
All right, we are back, and now we're getting toward the stretch run, but I want to remind you all that everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a dream. Everything starts with a vision. And I can recall being a little lad sitting back in the Blue Mire Housing Authority. Some would like to call it the projects, but it was home for me. And all I could remember and all I could ever think about was one day I was going to be on the radio, and one day I would own my own radio station. Well, one day is today. And I want to thank God for another opportunity for doing something I know I was born to do, and that is talk to people, talk about sports, and share the love of God. This is a dream come true, and in the infamous words of Mr. Don King, only in America. You are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This is Mike Prince. I am having a blast. Man, we had not done a live show in a little while. As you know, we do our show on Sunday evenings for 8 p.m. We do a wrap-up of everything that's been going on throughout the week, and we do you a daily sports report, anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes, but today I had an opportunity to take advantage of some time, and I could actually get used to this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having fun. I'm interacting with people. It's just the way it's supposed to be, right? Speaking of the way things are supposed to be, every now and then in this business, you'll come across people who will help you, and then you have come across people, just like anywhere else in life, who will try and hate on you. But the next man that we're about to hear from, he's definitely been a mutual friend. I've helped him, he's helped me, and we've all helped each other. The question is, am I my brother's keeper? And we all should know what the answer to that is, and it should be yes. I want you to also remember to go ahead and support my man, Mr. Brian Snow. They call him the Snowman. It's called the Arena Sports Network. Check them out at arenasportsnetwork.com, or you can check them out on Spreaker. Now, those that follow us here, you know that we don't just promote any and everybody. But when we do promote them, I believe in my heart that they're solid people. And speaking of solid people, I was able to catch up with the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, Mr. Lee Hall. Now, he was talking about some things that are going on. Let me bring you all up to speed. In case you hadn't heard, the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils have hired Rick Comegee. Who is Rick Comegee? Well, Rick Comegee was just the head football coach for the Jackson State Tigers, who went to back-to-back SWAC championship games. Didn't win them, but he was fired due to some irreplaceable differences, if we will. Nonetheless, he's back in the SWAC, and he's back in the same division of the Jackson State Tigers. Now, everybody, they can say what they want to say. If you fire me and I get a chance to come back, I got that date marked, baby. And if I don't win no game, I guarantee you that's the one that I'm going for the jugular on. So we're going to hear from my friend, Mr. Lee Hall, talk about Rick Comedy. He also was talking about some of the do's and the don'ts that were going to be needed for success on both ends. So we'll listen to it and take it all in. This is Mike Prince. It is 10:39 Central Standard Time in the AM, wherever you may be listening to this right now. We're about to hear from my guy, Mr. Lee Hall, and you are listening to the Sports Report.
I got you. All right, this is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and I have with me the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, my good friend, Mr. Lee Hall. How you doing, man?
Mike, fine. Always pleased to talk with you.
All right, look, it's good to have you here on the hill. The temperature's dropping a little bit, but we're going to take care of you, man. I promise we're going to take care of you. Hey, first, let's talk. There's a lot going on in Mississippi Valley right now. We're here for a basketball game, but what I want to talk about just a little bit, you guys have made a big hire. We talked about it about a month ago about Rick Comedy, and we said somebody was going to pick him up, not knowing that he was going to be right in your lap. What's the buzz going on in Mississippi Valley?
They had a press conference last Monday, Tuesday, and Mike, you wouldn't believe the reception. They rolled out the red carpet, and not only that, it was under suspense for a long time. You know, people guessing who was going to be, and nobody knew who was going to be. That day, found out it was Coach Comedy. And, of course, Valley State is very happy to have him. When you talk to the people that on the committee that finally found out who they were, hey, to a man and to a woman, they wanted Coach Comedy. And the reason they wanted Coach Comedy, proven winner. You know, a record of winning, and they're very pleased about that. And he is very receptive to Valley State.
Well, look, we talked about it, and I told you, I said, this man was a proven winner, and he was not going to be out of work long. So when you get the news, you're covering the press conference and everything, you say the buzz is up. Yeah. How do you see this thing unfolding for Valley? And I know the date when they play Jackson State is already highlighted throughout the Delta down there. So what do you see in some things that he's going to have to work with, because your hand is right there on the pulse?
Actually, what happened is when he was introduced, he also introduced his coaching staff, the guys that he said, listen, where I've been, named 3 guys, said they have been with me. So he sent the message that, well, I don't win by myself. I win with the guys that have been with me. And during the press conference, he had a question and answer section. Asked them, you introduced your coaches, are they on board with you? He said that they were here and they're going to talk to the president that day. So that meant pretty much is. I kind of feel that was kind of worked out. He didn't want to give the particulars because, you know, Coach Comedy believes in building. He's not a person who goes out there, a rah-rah guy. He believes that getting the job done, kind of a mild manner person, but he's strictly about the business.
Well, I told you he's a football coach, and he's not worried about anything else. You let your staff and your compliance people do what they need to do. Let me coach football, and I'm excited for the future of Mississippi Valley.
I tell you what, Valley State is excited for the future of Mississippi Valley. Pernell Dickinson, you might know about him. Pernell Dickinson played at Valley State back in the 70s, went to in the Tampa Bay organization as quarterback, then worked in that organization, and he came down for the final comments. And he laid the groundwork for Valley State to move forward. And that groundwork was, we got to come to the ball games, and not all that, we got to write some checks. And you know, Coach Comedy is coming there, Mike, for about half price of what he made at Jackson State. But he wants to win, and you said the key thing, he's a football coach. He said, if you believe in Division II, you get a chance to transfer out. He said, come next fall, we are playing D1 football. And, you know, again, not a rah-rah individual. He believes that he can win at Mississippi Valley. He gave a story, said sometimes people are down, but I am here to help. And I believe, Mike, he sincerely believes that he can win at Mississippi Valley State. You always, when you talk about Valley State, you hear about the resources or the lack of resources. That question was asked during the question and answer session. He said, we're going to get with the AD and find out what we got. And he believes that with that and some more help and coaches and people putting money into the program, that Valley State can win. He wants to build a not winning every 3 or 4 cycles, but he wants to build a winner, just as Prairie View has done here.
Yes, sir. Well, he's got some good talent to work with when you look at the numbers and the roster of the football squad. Now, we're going to transition here in a little bit, and you're going to tell us about this basketball team and some of the keys for them to be successful on the men and the women's side. But he has a good source to work with. Good quarterback, good receiver. I can't call the receiver's name right now, but
Julius Stafford.
Julius Stafford. Yes, he was doing an outstanding job of playmaker. So it's exciting and interesting to see how this thing is going to come. Not only is he still in the SWAC, but in the same division. And man, I can feel the tension right there. Man, I might have to come to Mississippi when that one is played just to get a spectator seat.
Particularly when they play Jackson State, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he asked about that, Mike. He wanted to play that. He said, I can't get into who I'm playing against because once you get into the team on the opposite side, you forget about what you're supposed to do. So he's playing that down. But you and I, and the rest of the conference would know that he wants to play that game against Jackson State because that was much talked about. People didn't understand why he was let go from that. And he was very honest too, Mike. He was up front. He said, well, when I first heard about it, he said, I was kind of hurt some. But he said, when you know and believe that the Lord has a plan for you, he said, you get over that. And so he's back in football. And he's an asset to the SWAC because he's a winner. He's an asset to Valley State. So this is, I guess, the first time that Valley has hired a proven football coach just coming in. Some guys will come in, assistant coaches, other places, but he has a track record of winning.
Now, my thing is, do you know if there's an expected window that they'll allow him to develop this winning program, or is it going to be a short leash, or do you hear anything about that buzzing around?
I asked that very question that you just asked because it's not about getting close, winning 1 year, winning. He didn't give a particular timetable, but we always know that they give coaches 2-3 years, but with him, who knows, because he's a proven winner. If he doesn't win at Valley State, we can't say that it's Coach Cummings' fault because he's a proven winner.
Yes, sir.
He's won other places. Why not Valley State?
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be very interesting to see when it comes down to the recruiting because those guys are in the same neck of the woods and they're going to be competing after the same type of athlete that normally has made Jackson State the power that it has become. And now you're going to see, because not only is he a good coach, he's got to be a hell of a recruiter.
Gotcha. And that same question was asked him. He said, getting late in the recruiting game, he said, well, there's some players out there that's under the radar that we still can get. He said, I'm not worried about the recruiting season getting by. He said, there's some players out there and I can get them. And he said also there's a lot of talent in Mississippi. He said, I can get that talent as well. So he's ready to go.
Well, that was one of the stipulations that Jackson State had required. They wanted more in-house recruiting, so I'm pretty sure that Mississippi Valley is going to do the same thing. Like I said, man, it is exciting in the SWAC. My good friend here, Mr. Lee Hall, the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, thank you very much, my friend. Now, I want to do a swing into this hardwood. Now, Mississippi Valley pulled off a major upset against the Southern Jaguars, and people are still buzzing about that. What are some of the strengths for this team that the Panthers are going to have to look out for?
Okay, we talked about the women first, or the men first. They beat Southern last Wednesday night, and that was a surprise, but to us and to the fans and to the people around the SWAC, because they've seen Valley State, and we struggled the whole season, had not won a SWAC ball game. Then Southern coming in undefeated 5-0, and Valley got a 16, 18-point lead on them, but they came back and tied the ball game. But Valley State had enough to hang on to win that ball game. It took a very quick start for them, and when you look at the ball game, it didn't look like a fluke because Southern got back into the ball game. They used the big guy Godfrey, got in there, had a super night against us, but they shot the ball well, didn't make a lot of mistakes, out-rebounded Southern, and were able to hold on to get a W.
Okay, now the young ladies will be going on the hardwood here pretty quick, and I know you got to get to work here. What are some of the keys for the Lady Devilettes as they battle against the Lady Panthers?
Valley won the first four ball games in the SWAC. They lost to Southern on that night at home. They lost to Texas Southern the other night. They lost to two of the top teams in the SWAC. So now you win your first 4 ball games, then you go on the road, and we lost one at home, another on the road. And Coach said earlier, this is a must-win for him, particularly going back home against Jackson State. Prairie View is going to be tough here. They're always tough here. They're a good program. They got to come out and rebound well. They got to come out there and stay in the ball game. You can't fall behind. Although you're on the road, they can't fall behind and stay in there, shoot the ball well, and they got the rebound. Got a rebound the other night by 22, 47-25. You can't win ball games like that. They shot the ball, their normal percentage around 40-41%, but they did not get their rebounds, kept the turnovers down to about 13, but their rebounds killed them.
Okay, well, you hear it from the man who has his finger on the pulse of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils and the Devilettes. Man, always good to see you, buddy. Have a good broadcast on tonight, man. You got anything you want to say before I let you get out of here?
Hey, listen. Hey, Mike Prince, obn-radio broadcast is on the cutting edge and doing things around the country that is good for HBCU and black college sports, no doubt.
Well, thank you very much, my friend. This is Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sports Report, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, man.
And that was Mr. Lee Hall, the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils. I really appreciate him and his kind words. All I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that when you're passionate about something and you never meet a stranger, you'll help whoever, wherever, and however you can. We want to take a quick break, and we will be coming back with our final segment after this. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. This is Mike Prince, and you're listening to the Sports Report.
I'm Elena. I have a master's degree in giving hope to children in Ethiopia.
I'm John. My farm experience helped villagers in the Philippines feed themselves.
I'm Nanaya. I have a degree in making an impact for generations to come.
If you have a degree in agriculture, the environment, or teaching English, you actually have a degree in doing more than you ever thought possible. Peace Corps volunteers can truly make a difference in the lives of people all over the world. With your skills and education, you could help create an irrigation system for a small village in Paraguay, or share new teaching methods to educators in Moldova. The experiences you'll gain in the Peace Corps will stay with you forever. This is your chance to make a real difference, a difference only you can make. Explore how the Peace Corps can fit into your future. Visit peacecorps.gov.
My resume
now includes changing lives.
Hello, this is the sports professor, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's HBCU Sports Top 10 Countdown Show. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of Waller County Athletics.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I guess we have come to the end of the road, as boys to men would say. And what a road it has been. It has been an absolutely joy and a pleasure to sit, sip, and chat with each and every one of you. Want to let you know that the Open Mic Broadcast Network is located in the heart of Prairie View A&M University, in the heart of Prairie View, Texas. And we believe in giving back to our community, and this is just what we do. I want to thank each and every one of you who have tuned in and listened on today. We want to thank our sponsors for today, the Waller Bulldog Club, the City of Prairie View 4B Economic Group. We also want to thank the Temple of Refuge Church of God in Christ, the Prairie View Athletic Club, and so many more people. We want to thank our guests for today, Mr. Lee Hall, the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, the Lady Panthers, Miss Lorraine Washington, Shamaya Brooks, Gabby Scott, and Jeanette Jackson. And we cannot forget Coach Dawn Brown. I want to remind you that you can listen to the Sports Report each and every day right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network and Spreaker.com. And in case you hadn't heard, we're on iHeartRadio. All you have to do is go to iHeartRadio.com, go to the talk section. From there, go to sports and look OBN Sports. We have so much in store for you. Want to let you know that our next live broadcast sporting event coverage is actually scheduled for tomorrow, where Waller will take on Huntsville. We'll see. Actually, that should have been today, but because of the bad weather day, that game will be postponed, and we'll see what can happen on that. So we have another next schedule of January 31st. January 31st, we'll see the Lady Panthers, I'm sorry, not the Lady Panthers, but the Lady Bulldogs from the Waller High School. They'll take on the Caney Creek Panthers in their quest and endeavors. Some other upcoming events of what's going on in the land of Prairie View in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. On February the 1st, the men and women will take on the Alabama State basketball squads. Their games will be at 3 and 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. Also, the men's tennis program will be at Texas Pan America down in Edinburgh, Texas. And on Sunday, the men's tennis team will take on Oral Roberts. And also you have the women tennis team getting involved. They'll take on Texas Pan America down in Edinburgh as well. And then on Monday, the basketball teams will be at Alabama A&M in Huntsville, Alabama. Tip-off times are scheduled for 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then come back on Tuesday, February the 8th, where the men and women's team will be hosting the Texas A&M Corpus Christi teams. They'll be taking them on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. And ladies and gentlemen, if you had not heard, if you've been under a rock, if you've been just out of contact, February the 8th, you must mark your calendar. That's when the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Texas Southern Tigers, they get together and they'll lock it up. And you know how it is when those two got together and played a triple overtime game back in the early part of January. And you know that one is going to be a game for the ages. I want to remind you that you can keep up with Mr. Brian Snow, the Snowman, on the Arena Sports Network. That's the Arena Sports Network. And Mr. Brian Snowman, nice to hear from you, my brother. I want to remind you that if you're not trying, you can't make a difference. And if you make a difference, it's because you keep trying. My name is Mike Prince. You have been listening to the Sports Report here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless each and every one of you. Until tomorrow, may God bless you and may He keep you. And we will see you on the other side. Have a great Tuesday.
The Sports Report is a production of the Open Mic Broadcast Network located in Prairie View, Texas. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network is the official voice of Waller County Athletics.